About a year ago, I finally decided to get a standing desk after realizing that this whole work from home model is here to stay. And this is the standing desk that I ended up getting. This here is the Uplift V2 standing desk. And in this video, I'm going to go through my thoughts about configuring, setting up, and using this motorized standing desk. I configured my Uplift desk with this 72 by 30 inch whiteboard laminate tabletop. And as the name suggests, the entire surface of this tabletop is basically a whiteboard, meaning that I can draw on it with a dry erase marker. And this tabletop is sitting on top of an Uplift V2 C-frame in black. As for the height adjustment control, I opted for the advanced comfort angled keypad. This allows me to save up to 4 different height presets at any given time. I have one preset for when I'm sitting down, another one for when I'm sitting on a stool, a third one when I'm standing up, and a fourth one when I'm standing up on a balance board. And part of the Uplift V2 buying experience is selecting the accessories to complement the desk itself. For me, I selected the bamboo rocker X-Board with the comfort mat, a half-circle desk drawer, a generic LED lamp, and a motion stool. All of the accessories that I got were free except for the motion stool, which I had to pay about $100 extra. And I kind of regret not getting the free hammock, which is supported on my 72-inch tabletop, as the half-circle desk drawer and the generic LED lamp was kind of useless to me. But I did have a friend that recently got the Uplift V2 and he did get the hammock for his desk configuration.
The coolest part which I wanted to try with one of the accessories was the hammock. That is like something which is pretty unique what this company offers you. Did I personally use it all the time? No, but it's pretty cool when somebody is around and they want to try it, they can, always try it.
In total, I paid a little under $1,000 for this standing desk configuration alongside all of its accessories. But this is just how I configured my desk, and the beauty of the Uplift V2 is that there is a variety of customization options that you can choose from when you're buying it for yourself. The assembly process for this standing desk was rather straightforward. It took me about an hour to get the desk up and running when I got it last year. The desk did come with some installation instructions, but I primarily used the assembly tutorial that Uplift had on their YouTube channel. Additionally, since I recently moved from Arizona to Washington, I can talk about the process of shipping this standing desk across the country. So when I disassembled this desk in Arizona, I kept the legs intact, and that meant that the disassembly process was as simple as unscrewing a dozen screws. Likewise, when I was reassembling this desk here when I arrived in Washington, the assembly took me just 15 minutes. One thing to note here is that Uplift does recommend having 2 people to flip the table right side up when assembling the desk, but I managed to get away with flipping the table by myself, so that's that. Before I go through some of my thoughts about using this standing desk here, I want to talk about the cable management situation. Getting the wires under this table to look clean and tidy was pretty tricky, and only recently that I figured out how to get it neat like it is right now. Cable management is especially important for a standing desk, as the last thing you want is for the cable to tangle onto something on the ground and prevent the desk from moving up or down. Plus, it's kind of an eyesore to see the cables dangling under the table. So how I've configured my cables is that I mounted my surge protector to the underside of the desk with some command strips. That means that there's only one cable that stretches up and down when I change the height of the desk. From there, it's just a matter of using cable sleeves and cable clips that I bought online to tie and organize all the cables together, and I utilized the free wire management tray that Uplift provided to hide the cable slack and adapters that I have for various things on my desk. Alright, as you can see, I have quite a number of things on this 72-inch white desk here. I'm not going to go through everything that's on my desk in this video, as I am planning to make an updated desk setup tour. So get subscribed so you don't miss out on that video when it comes out. So on this desk here, I have at least 60 pounds of stuff at any given time, which is within the 355 lifting capacity of this desk. In practice, I didn't notice any issues with the motors on this desk. It moves up and down nicely and smoothly. Uplift calls the motors on this desk whisper quiet. I wouldn't call it whisper quiet. It is somewhat audible, but it doesn't really bother me. Plus, the sound of the motors is a good audible confirmation that the desk is being raised or lowered. Along the same lines, the motors do have an anti-collision system that stops the motors when an object is in the path of the table. This gets engaged pretty often for me, as I tend to forget that I have my stool under the desk when I'm lowering the desk to the seated position. So my height is 5'7", and I raised the desk to about 45 inches off the ground, which is pretty close to the max 50-inch height that this table is capable of reaching. And at that height, there is a slight wobble when I lean onto the desk, but it's nothing too concerning about, as the table doesn't feel like it's going to tip over or anything. But in general, over the course of a workday, I raised and lowered the desk about 4 to 5 times, and I haven't noticed any issues with the motors in the past year of using this desk. These motors are designed to last well over a decade, so I'll need to evaluate this over a longer period of time to form a clearer conclusion. As for the whiteboard tabletop, I really enjoy using it. It's not every day that I'm jotting down notes on the whiteboard surface, but when I do, I find it extremely handy to have. It's also a cool party trick to show others when they come visit my home office. One thing to note about this tabletop is that since it is a glossy surface, the oils from my skin and palms tend to stick onto the desk. This can make the desk feel a little sticky at times, so I just have to wipe it down more often. Lastly, I want to touch on the customer support that Uplift provides. So when I was reassembling my desk a few months back when I was moving from Arizona to Washington, the keypad was malfunctioning that was causing the memory presets to kind of glitch out. So I emailed their support line and got a pretty prompt response about resolving the issue. Turns out I accidentally reset it at some point during my move and I switched the motors to a different operating mode. But yeah, their customer support, at least in this instance, was pretty helpful and responsive. Alright, conclusion time. I have to admit that I was second guessing myself when I ordered this desk given that it was pretty pricey. But since I got it last August, I have genuinely been enjoying using it, especially given that I spend hours upon hours every week in front of a computer doing things like video editing, programming, web browsing, and just general YouTubing stuff. So having different ways of being on my desk will definitely be beneficial for my physical health. And given that this desk has a 15-year warranty, I'll definitely do a follow-up video about how this desk and its motors have fared a few years down the road. But from what I've seen so far, I'm liking it. Alright, thanks for watching this review and I hope to see you very soon in the next video.